Hi, I'm Winter, and you may notice I'm wearing a Plague Doctor's mask. That's because today, we're going to be talking about the deadliest plague currently affecting mankind. Sonic the Hedgehog. Over the past few months, I've talked about the first two games in the Sonic series, and my general consensus so far has been, these are just okay. Sonic 1 is just straight up bad. I only enjoyed half the zones in the game, and even when I played those, I was just dreading the fact that the next thing in the game was probably going to be awful. As for Sonic 2, they got a pretty solid grasp of how Sonic should control and how levels should be designed mostly, but still, it just wasn't enough to make me really fully enjoy the experience. So surely in the next entry, I'm gonna stop you right there, voiceover me, because we can't play a good Sonic game just yet. Nope. Between the release of Sonic 2 and Sonic 3, Sega just kinda threw up Sonic CD on the store shelves. Sonic CD actually began development around the same time as Sonic 2, although this game was being developed by a team with a less unfortunate name. It was the flagship title of the Sega CD, which was this add-on to the Sega Genesis that could, who would have guessed, play CD games. The Sega CD wasn't a failure, but it didn't sell super well. It was $299 at launch on top of needing to own a Sega Genesis, and all it really improved with most games was sound quality. Nothing really changed about the gameplay in these games, and to make things worse, most of the games released for it weren't games, but interactive movies. It still managed to sell over 2 million units, with Sonic CD selling a little bit more than half of that, but come on. Nobody really thinks of the Sega CD and says, "Oh, I remember Batman Returns!" Getting back to Sonic CD, it was originally intended to be an enhanced port of Sonic 2, but Sonic 2 actually performed pretty poorly in Japan at first, so they scrapped that and decided to make something new. Directed by Naoto Oshima, this is the first Sonic game to have very little influence from Yuji Naka, as well as one of the most overlooked games in the Sonic series. Yeah, up until 10 or so years ago, Sonic CD flew under the radar. It was always seen as this black sheep of the Sonic series, this hidden gem that nobody ever got to play. The game practically never got re-released, not even in Sonic Mega Collection. The first major re-release was actually in Sonic Gems Collection, which was made literally just so Sega could re-release Sonic CD at full price. I mean, come on. There's no way they just accidentally forgot to put it in Mega Collection. They sold it with Gems Collection because nobody was going to buy Gems Collection for Sonic R and Sonic the Fighters. So, is Sonic CD this awesome masterpiece that— Hell no! Why would I be wearing this plague mask if the game was good? Just for reference, I'm playing the Christian Whitehead version of Sonic CD, which is an enhanced re-release with widescreen support, improved gameplay, and all sorts of bonus options. Like, this version lets you choose between the US and Japanese soundtracks, and that's just not necessary at all. Sonic CD starts with a hand-drawn animated cutscene, and it is to this day one of the best pieces of Sonic media. The animation was done by Toei, who have done work for all sorts of things, and they just went crazy for this game. My footage doesn't do it justice because I played it all on my piece of PC, but if you have a chance, you should seriously do yourself a favor and watch it. So the plot here is pretty much this. Dr. Robotnik chained this tiny planet called Little Planet to a mountain and is turning it into a base for him and his army. He also has these gems called the Time Stones, and these are just the Chaos Emeralds, except they don't do anything. Oh yeah, also time travel is a thing in this game, but I'll talk about that later. After that, we jump into Palmtree Panic, and those 3 lines next to the act name are not the number 3, they're just decorative. But they threw me off in nearly every level because they're so much easier to look at than the Zone 1 at the bottom. Palmtree Panic is this game's version of Green Hill, and it's bad. There is this one part that's in pseudo 3D, and that pretty much makes everyone forget how bad the rest of the level is. The jumping sound effect in this game is different from the rest of the series, and I absolutely hate it. It, like a lot of other things in this game, threw me off immensely. Near the end of Act 1, Sonic gets accosted by this pink hedgehog named Amy Rose. Yeah, this is her first appearance in the series, back when I think her inclusion was actually kind of a neat subversion of expectations. Usually the hero is doing everything just for a kiss on the cheek or something, but no, Sonic doesn't like Amy. He just rescues her all the time because it's the right thing to do, and I just think that's neat. Act 2 is where I first experienced the time travel mechanic. I got sent to the bad future of Palmtree Panic. The goal in each level is to make it to the past and destroy Robotnik's robot generator so the future of each level is saved. I didn't do this in most levels, so you'll see a lot of bad futures where things look kind of horrifying. Seriously, Palmtree Panic's bad future made me second guess myself a bit. The trees are mechanical, there are pipes going through everything, the water is completely gray, it's just unsettling, and I feel like nobody really talks about how unsettling it really is. Also, we're back to 3 acts per zone. That sucks, but whatever, I can handle it. The first boss is Dr. Robotnik, and whatever this thing is. He has these springs to bounce you back, but he dies in 2 hits. Seriously, whoever's coming up with the bosses for these games just gave up this time. Level 2 is called Collision Chaos, and this is just Palmtree Panic, except the developers threw up neon lights and bumpers all over it. At the beginning of Act 1, Metal Sonic kidnaps Amy, giving us a new game, and whatever. Anyway, this level sucks. This is like Spring Yard Zone if there were even more bumpers, just in new and infinitely more inconvenient places. I accidentally traveled to the bad future more than once in this level because I just didn't have control of my movement. For the most part, I'm going to gloss over this level, but the boss is so bad. You basically have to climb up a pinball machine to reach Robotnik, but the physics are just so bad that it just became infuriating. After defeating Robotnik, we're on to level 3, Tidal Tempest. So, imagine Labyrinth Zone from the first game. We all can mutually agree that that sucked, right? So, now imagine that, but again, that's Tidal Tempest. Now, Tidal Tempest isn't anywhere near as bad as Labyrinth, but it has a lot of the same bullshit. The biggest improvement here is that the entire game doesn't lag whenever anything happens underwater, but is that saying a lot? No, especially considering I was playing a remaster. The boss here was not really a boss. You just follow Robotnik through a labyrinth and hit him whenever you see him. It's like barely even a boss. Until you get to the real boss, where Eggman has this bubble shield and you just keep breathing in the bubbles until you can hit him. So again, not really much of a boss. At least Collision Chaos has a neat concept. This is just boring. Next is Quartz Quadrant. This level is just forgettable. It looks pretty neat, sure, and the music is awesome, but the conveyor belts around the level are the only real gimmick, which is exemplified by the boss being you running on a conveyor belt and dodging the things Robotnik tries to drop on you. That's literally it. Wacky Workbench has the funniest name of a Sonic level I can think of, but how wacky is it really? I hated this level. The visuals here are really distracting, and it makes it way harder to pay attention. Sonic's sprite when he climbs on these poles is also kinda goofy. That's not a complaint, I just thought it was kinda funny. Act 2 does have this cool part where you swing from these flying turbines, but I also found those pretty frustrating at first. The boss is actually pretty cool here. You have to climb to the top of the room to hit Robotnik and avoid the spikes and stuff that fall to the ground. If you fall to a lower floor, it's not a game over, it just makes you climb back up, and I think that's just, you know, good design. After punting Robotnik again, we go to Stardust Speedway, which is by far the most memorable level in the game. It looks awesome, it has great music, and it has a great boss. You have to race Metal Sonic to get through this door before him, forcing Robotnik to kill his Metal Hedgehog's son. This is also where Amy finally gets rescued. This level is the first and only one where I actually destroyed a robot generator. That didn't matter though, because if you don't destroy it in every act, you get the bad future in Act 3 anyway. After forcing Robotnik to kill everything he's ever loved with his own two hands and getting harassed by a pink rat, we move on to Metallic Madness, the final level. Again, there's nothing too memorable here. There is this part where Sonic becomes baby, but that doesn't actually change that much about the level or the platforming, it's just smaller Sonic. The final act here is genuinely tough. You have to fight these two glow bugs before Robotnik, which makes you lose your energy shield and rings before you really have a chance to try fighting Robotnik. The final battle against Robotnik here kinda blows too. He's in this windmill-looking robot, and you have to hit it to knock off each of the blades. This fight took me a ton of tries because there are no checkpoints in the level, so every time I died, I had to go back through the whole thing, Glowbug mini-boss, Death Tetris, and all. Finally killing this boss was a cathartic moment for me, seeing the whole place fall apart in a beautifully animated cutscene all before Sonic ditches Amy and the mountain explodes. And this is apparently the bad ending. Now, the way to get the good ending is to beat every level with all the robot generators destroyed, or to get the time stone in each level, which is achieved by beating the special stages. I don't like Sonic CD's special stages. These are entered the same way as Sonic 1's, where you have to reach the end of the stage with 50 rings. I think these UFO stages had a lot of potential that they actually managed to reach in Sonic Mania, but I mean, this is just boring. There's no real stakes here, and I still somehow managed to fail the only one I entered. Now the question is, why would you bother doing any of this for an ending you can just as easily watch on YouTube for free without wasting 20 hours? Don't act like you already had any dignity. Also, if Sonic sits still for 3 minutes in any stage, he kills himself and you get a game over. Overall, Sonic CD kinda sucks ass. Like, it's worse than the first game. Don't get me wrong, I'm pretty sure I still enjoyed my time with it. But like, most of this game felt either uninspired or inspired by a bad drug trip. As Sonic should be. And you know what? I have to say it. I've spread this false narrative for too long. You know Sonic shoes? Yeah, those ones. They're not that cool, okay? I'm sorry, I had to say it!